Welcome, welcome to another episode of Road to Recovery with your host, Recovery Lord. How y'all doing in those therapeutic streets? Hopefully, we sticking with our recovery effort. Hopefully, we focused on our recovery goals. We have goals, not just the goals that you go and get. You got to bite into the clay and all that. Like when we was down Golden Brothers and all that. Hopefully, you got more than just those goals. You actually have hope, looking forward to something. And it doesn't have to be big. Your goal doesn't have to be, I'm going to get a PhD. Or I'm going to go start a food truck business and, I'm about to do this and it could be small. It does not have to be big. And the reason, y'all remember, we talked about this in other groups on here. The reason you don't wait just to celebrate big things is because big things don't happen every day. So you got to get comfortable and satisfied with celebrating those small victories that lead to greater ones. So shout out to everybody who been staying patient with me on this glitch in the matrix situation I got going on, where it takes me 2 weeks to upload a video. But if I was doing rap battles and, celebrity hip hop beef and all that, and oh man, those videos would go right through, those videos will go right through, no problem. But we on here trying to give people hope for the future, trying to get to the bottom of the disease of addiction. So every time I try to upload something, it get froze, it's stuck. I gotta watch all these videos to delete cookies. Then I gotta reset this, replant that, man. And I'm just trying to do regular groups. I'm not even doing all the editing. At first I thought I had to put pod charts up and top 10 lists and have Claude and chat help me figure out and what's it, Canva and all this other crap. Man, but we getting the message out because that is what is most important. This message, the message of hope from one addict to another, that the same way it happened for me, it can and will happen for you. One of the first steps is you got to claim it. It's not just going to fall in your lap. So, what do I want to talk about today? I would like to talk about problem solving in recovery. Problem solving in recovery. And not only problem solving, but we're going to talk about what are some of the barriers that get in the way of us being able to problem solve. So, what are some of the barriers to productive problem solving in recovery from low self-esteem? Barriers to productive problem solving include a yes, but. Always putting but on things. Yeah, I haven't drank in 2 days, but. Yeah, I done it before, but. They say when you put but on stuff, and but is popular, because they going to the doctor for but. And Dr. Miami, and then they get one but, and then the butt got to be even bigger. So we living in the era of butt. But when you put that, look at that. When you put that but in conversations and in sentences, they say the minute it's inserted, it discounts everything that was said before it. It could be positive stuff. It could be something that'll make you cry. And they throw that but, that means fold that up somewhere. That's irrelevant. What I say after the but is more important, at least to the speaker. At least to the speaker. So a yes, but attitude. That's a barrier to productive problem solving. Another one is intellectual defensiveness. What's intellectual defensiveness? It's when you are closed to new ideas. And we talked about that in today's Just for Today, how everything has to be your way or the highway. And then the highway goes from being a road you're traveling on to you being high every day and under the influence. So intellectual defensiveness, being closed to new ideas. And if all your ideas and getting everything your way is giving you a certain amount or a certain level of effects that you become uncomfortable with, it's causing consequences in your life. You always getting your way, or you always letting your addiction get its way. If that's costing you high blood pressure, if that's costing you to be carrying a bunch of extra damn weight than you should, and not just weight on your body, but weight on your spirit and on your heart that will crush you faster than the weight that you carrying on your body. So you tired of certain consequences and bumping your head up against the wall and all that? You should. At this point, you should be open not only to new ideas, but to new positive ideas. Give God a chance. Give religion a chance. Give an education. Getting an education. Give that a chance. Give a relationship. Not only a relationship, but a healthy relationship. Give it a shot. Instead of always taking a damn shot. Next one. The inability to be objective. To see things from the other perspective or another one besides the one that makes you comfortable. See, we all got perspectives and objectives that make us comfortable, so it's the one we stick with. And in doing that, we never consider other perspectives, other objectives. And that's being closed to new ideas. That's kind of another way of describing being intellectually defensive. This is a big one. And because we're talking about barriers to productive problem solving. And how about this one? A fear of being wrong. Some people are petrified of ever being wrong. I know people who ain't been wrong in 4 and 5 goddamn years. They'll point out every 5 seconds when you wrong and when you screw up and when you not meeting expectations or you could have did this better and they talk to you like this if they comfortable with you. If they know you're rational and they know you're open to dialogue, because if it's somebody real crazy that be hurting people and all that, and don't nobody tell them they wrong, they leave that person alone. Because they know they might get a couple lumps upside the head getting in the wrong person's face. So, but some people really do have a fear of not only being wrong, but admitting that they are wrong. And the ability to admit that you made a mistake, that takes courage. That takes honesty. In a world where everybody is faking the funk and playing the radio, the ability to be honest and say, hey, I screwed up. That's a leadership quality. A real leader. When the team loses, do you see Lamar? And do you see leaders? No. Or even when it was obvious that if Mark Andrews caught the damn pass, they would have won the game. But a real leader doesn't have a press conference and say that. They take ownership. I gotta play better. I gotta do this better. I gotta execute better. Next, the inability to be creative or imaginative in developing alternative solutions. And I'm gonna tell you why this is sad. When we have an inability to be creative and imaginative in developing alternative solutions for positivity, our addiction is creative and imaginative to maintain itself. Because even if we see we getting sick and we coughing every day, we make an excuse why we can smoke one more blunt, why we can have another cigarette. Even when people know they got high blood pressure, it's not in their best interest, they are creative and imaginative to have more drinks, to take another pill. And the most creative you see is when people they funds messed up at the moment. You know, they money a little funny. But they still got money for cigarettes and beer and drugs. They wake up owing $100 and still find a way to get them a taste that day. And it takes a lot of creativity and imagination to do things like that. So don't let your creativity and imagination become hijacked by your addiction. Because that's when it's artists out there that do beautiful work and they give the credit to their addiction. Yeah, I write better raps and all that, and I can dance better, and that's because I'm doing this before I get out there. No, it's not. If anything, you keep doing that, that's going to take you away from the hobbies that you like to do. Next, emotional stuckness. Being so chronically immersed in problems that no feelings or emotions can be elicited. You so stuck in your hurt that's the only emotion that you can feel or you allow yourself to feel. So we laugh at it when it's stink meaner on the boondocks. But it's some people looking at sunsets with the dolphins jumping out the water and a beautiful moment, and they saying, man, this BS. Because it ain't come with a beer. That moment didn't come with a pre-roll. So it's phony. Don't become emotionally stuck. That's why people go to church. That's why people pray and do things like get baptized and to try to get back, on the right track or get a foundation that they can exist on, a strong one. Next, believing that emotions and feelings are a problem, believing that emotions and feelings about a problem were wrong and should not be included when looking for solutions. Again, if you are worried about everybody else, you're not in touch with yourself and your own feelings. You know and that's why you don't want to judge everybody. Because the minute you start judging everybody else and you become too invested in their life, you know what they need to do. You know the next step that they need to take, and you take your eye off of what it is you should be doing, which is always more important. But that's only my opinion. What you should be doing should always be more important than what the next person should be doing or needs to do. Next, resentment about having to solve the problem wanting to blame others for causing the problem, having no desire to own the problem yourself. Some people are looking for ways to put their issues on somebody else. And as long as it's somebody else's fault, then it's no need for me to really work on certain things. That's a cop-out. And that works for some people, and it doesn't work for others. And I'm going to tell you how phony some people are these days. They only want to interact with people that believe and co-sign all their bullshit. The minute you challenge a position of theirs, you're a hater. And some people have a resentment for having a problem that exists. This problem exists. We got poor communication. But it's not my fault we got poor communication. It's not my fault somebody looked at it this way when they could have looked at it another way. Stop with all that. When you start to fall in those type of belief systems and thinking patterns, that makes you a lazy person that's not trying to do or willing to do the work that it requires to maintain healthy communication, healthy relationships. Next, mental and or physical fatigue due to finding no fruitful solutions. You trying to fix a problem the same way, and it keeps not working. And instead of trying a different way to go about this issue, this problem, you keep trying to use the same tool that didn't work the last time you tried to use it. Come on, man. I mean, we say we smart. We say we evolving. Some of us even saying, we God. Then that's a lot of pressure. You can't have a bunch of screw ups then. Mostly everything you do has to be a damn example. Feeling so stressed, anxious, or tense in the face of a problem that your systems shut down. You so stressed out about a problem that you shutting down. Or you shutting certain parts of you off to people. You got a family and when you a parent, see, sometimes parents do this with the kid or the child that gives them the most problems. They give this child all the attention. And because the other kid's doing what they need to do, okay, yeah, you never have problems. I never got to go to the school for you. So you can't have a problem. Because all my attention going to this, you can't do that as a parent. You don't have the luxury of doing that. Of making it seem like your whole life is about one of them and discarding the rest. They didn't ask to be here, and they yours. So you got to acknowledge all of them. Feeling so... No, I did that one. Getting so angry about the problem that all your energy and attention is drawn to the anger rather than the actual problem and solution. Some people are wasting all of their energy on being angry about something that they have no energy to actually figure out what is angering them. Wow. And, instead of doing that, we just intensifying our energy levels by taking stimulants that have us up all night whining about the same problem. So not only am I not going to fix the problem, I'm about to stay up for a day and a half whining about the shit that I'm not trying to fix, that I'm just whining about. That's a lot. That's a lot. That'll do it. That'll do it. Let's stop doing that. Because what purpose does that serve other than justifying our addiction? Because when we feel like that and we get all worked up, we fall back on what we did last time that happened. We go to the same bar. We pick up the same 6-packs. We go to the same street corners and go get the same trash cans from the same, hopefully, from the same people who gave them to it last time. And then we get mad when they ain't out there because we feel like they got the best. And we got to go deal. But addiction going to make you deal with somebody else when your go-to ain't there. Feeling sorry for yourself and letting the self-pity overwhelm and obstruct all thinking on the matter. And this is barriers to productive problem solving. Feeling sorry for yourself, having a pity party, and being Eddie Murphy, playing every role in the pity party. You the host, you the person that showed up late, you the one that drank too much, you the one that's too high. People don't know if you having a seizure or not. You stop talking, your head cocked to the side. Then you get out of all of that, you ready to do it all over again. Stop throwing these pity parties for yourself. And let's have courage parties, strength parties, perseverance parties. When we having them. Getting so depressed about the problem that a mental paralysis exists. You start to get stuck on stupid. Stuck on the problem. Not even contemplating a potential solution. Denial that the problem even exists. We waiting for certain consequences to kick in. See, I don't have a problem until my lights get cut off. Since my lights ain't never get cut off, then clearly I don't got no problem because I'm not like so-and-so. Or, yeah, I'm not going to the pawn shop. And I'm not holding a sign on Martin Luther King. So, yeah, it don't take all of that for a problem to be acknowledged. We got to stop being in denial that we even have a problem and that these problems exist. Some people look at they drinking and they use as a superpower. I used to think when I was getting high, I was opening my third eye. That's the only way to open it? Is through getting high? And it's supposed to be something good? I guess I'm not using 3 eyes then. If I got a drink or pop a damn pill to open it, it might as well stay shut. Bargaining. Bargaining and dealing with the problem. Agreeing to perform certain steps only as long as the solution to the problem results from taking such steps. Some people are halfway address something. I know people that say they want a job, they looking for something, but they also make sure they don't have a damn ID. Just in case you have a opportunity right then and there, oh man, I'll do it. Because, I've been looking for a job, but I ain't got an ID though, man. You can't halfway address a problem. Because when you're doing things halfway, if you're doing half recovery, then your recovery is liability. And some people recovery is full coverage. They getting everything. They getting their mind back. They getting better work. They dressing better. They got better opportunities. They thinking better, sleeping better at night. That's full coverage. And some people that's doing half-ass recovery, they might get a night where they sleep good. And the rest of the week, they up all night. Or they might have a day or two where everything is okay. They per diem. There's no way you could be part-time recovery. So these are common barriers to productive problem solving in recovery. Don't continue to stay in your own way. Life is hard. Only a fool would live in a way where it makes it even harder for them. Eventually, you want it to be easier. You ever heard the saying, work smarter, not harder? That goes for more than just when you clock in. Some people only understand that when they clock in. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be working smarter, not harder. Clock out, and they're a damn alcoholic as soon as they clock out. Or they're a drug addict. They was one probably before they clocked in too. But that goes for life. It goes for life too. You can make life easier. You can make parenting easier. You can make being in a relationship easier. The best way to do that is you getting back to being you. And if you haven't, don't beat yourself up. But what's stopping you from making that decision today? From you being the best version of yourself. The majority of the stuff I'm doing, I know religious people could tell me it's God that's doing this. Some people will say, man, that's you. You always had it in you. Some of these things are true. But I'll be honest with you. I couldn't do none of this stuff that I'm doing right now without me being in recovery. Because if I was drinking every day and using every other day, none of this would be possible. So we gotta put certain things down so we could pick up other things. You have to put certain negative things down that don't serve you nothing, a purpose. Maybe at one point in time, it may have helped you cope with certain things. But you don't have a Band-Aid for the rest of your life. Eventually, it's supposed to come off. But we got people that's using the Band-Aid of drinking for 10 and 15 years. You got people who saying smoking weed helps them with their depression, and they more mad than people who don't smoke. You smoke every day, and you irritated as hell, and you around people who don't smoke, but you the one with an attitude problem. And I thought that shit was a miracle drug. Where the hell are miracles happening? The only miracle is how the hell you paying for that shit and you can't afford it. You're right. I'm going on it. I could do this all day, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to hold my hands like this. I normally do like this, but I'm in the mood to do it like this. They be doing holding the nose, but we're going to do it like this. And we're going to say, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Keep coming back. More will be revealed for you, by you, because of you. We pray for the addict who picked up for the first time today, not realizing what they're getting themselves into. We pray for the addict who lost their life today, thinking that they had next week, the week after, or they was going to start this fall, or, they're going to do all this stuff in the future. And it's no better time than the here and now to make this journey and decision. And we pray for the addict who put down for the last time and is showing everybody that it's possible for them too. And everyone in between. God bless you guys. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Road to Recovery.